What's up, guys? It's been so long since I've been on here and I'm very sorry about that. I promise one day I'll get on a schedule. Not today, but one day. But what have y'all been up to? What's new? Anything happening? Because I just feel like it's been so long since I've got on here and I talked to y'all and I don't know. So, hey. Anyways, a while ago I asked all my followers on Instagram what makeup products they want me to use and like what style of makeup look they want me to do, and so you guys voted on that. I did a little poll and I'm gonna pick the winners from that poll and I'm gonna do a makeup look with it and we'll see what we get at the end. And I don't know, and some of you guys picked my favorite products and other of you guys picked products that I don't use as often anymore, so that's gonna be interesting. I have my little notes of everything written down. Sorry about the really bad handwriting, but I was just quickly jotting it down just so I can just get on with the video. But yeah, and I'm really excited to do this and I can't wait to see how the look turns out and we'll see. I don't know what else to say. So without further ado, we'll get straight into the video. I went ahead and pulled my hair up so it's out of my way and y'all can just see the makeup, and because that's really all you need to see. But so the first thing I asked you guys is what primer you wanted me to use. Did you want me to use a pore filling primer like the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer? Or did you want me to use a more dewy primer like the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Glow Lock Primer? And you guys said you wanted pore filling. I don't really have big pores, so I never even really reach for this. And not to mention, I hate the texture of it and it's not really pore filling, but so anyway, just gonna squeeze a little bit on my finger and just rub it in just on the tips. And I'm only gonna apply it to my nose area. Oh, I remember that smell. I'm only gonna apply it like around my nose area and my eyebrow area. Because that's where I have the most pores. My eyebrows, because I shave them, so, you know, it's very textured. So I feel like that'll be a good place. And then my nose, because the only place I really have pores is like that nose area and then right around it. Not like necessarily on my cheeks, but like right around it. So I'm just going to rub it in there. Next, I asked you guys which foundation you wanted me to use. Did you want me to use the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation or the Morphe Foundation, Fluidity Foundation in the shade F1.7, and then the e.l.f. one is in the shade Snow. But the funny thing about that is Snow is white and this is way too tan for me. And this one is fair, but it's also got like a really yellow undertone. So none of these are my shade. So I don't even know why I played myself by only asking you guys these products, but we'll make it work. We always do. You guys chose the Morphe foundation, which is light enough for me, but it is yellow, like I said before, but we'll, once again, make it work. So I'm going to squeeze some on the back of my hand, just a little bit. Now this is a really full coverage foundation, so be safe with it. So just kind of swiping some down, and I'm just going to go. Now I always go in with a brush to blend everything out, and then I go back in with a beauty blender, and then that way it'll, because like using a brush you get streaks and strokes and it just doesn't look its best like that it could look. Goodness gracious, look at that. Oh. But so I go back in with a dampened beauty blender and blend all that out so it just looks like your natural skin. I'm going to do a second squeeze of this just because I ran out for the forehead. And there's a couple places like around my nose I like to put a lot more coverage just because I get oily a little bit on my nose. So I just want to make sure that the foundation and powder and all that stuff will stay. So I'm just going to go back in, put another layer just on my nose. Now time for concealer. I asked you guys whether you wanted me to do the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer or the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. You guys ended up picking the Milani Concealer, which is in the shade 100 Pure Ivory. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. Now the L'Oreal Concealer is a very dewy, skin-like concealer, and it's not that full coverage, but it does have nice coverage to it. Now that we have our concealer on, we're going to blend that out. I'm going to take the brush I was using for my foundation and go back in and blend out. Y'all just want me to look yellow because this concealer's yellow too. Which when I have my actual foundation, the yellow concealer helps to brighten. But since my foundation is yellow, it's not really doing that. Now for setting powder, it was between the Maybelline setting powder in the shade 05 or the LA Girl Pro powder. It's just translucent, so it's like white. But anyway, it was between these two ones, and you guys picked the Maybelline, which I'm very, very happy about because the translucent one I'm not a big fan of. I do like it when I'm doing, like, if I'm making my face blue, because since it is translucent, it won't turn it brown like this one will. But I don't like it for just like a regular face of makeup. So now I'm going to set my face, and before I do that, I'm going to go in and blend out any creases that were made while I was sitting here talking, running my big mouth. And then I also use a lot of setting powder on my nose because my nose is oily. So I can use as much powder as I want and it won't be a problem. So just set that area, and then I smile a lot. So my little smile lines right here, we're gonna go ahead and set those too. So we don't get creases there, because creasing makes you look old. And I'm only 16, so we don't have time to be old right now. Next for contour, I asked if you guys wanted me to use the Anastasia or if you wanted me to use the Smashbox Cream Bronzer. And it was actually a tie. It was like 34, 34, or 30 something, or 40 something. I don't know. It was a tie. Just know that. But, and I wasn't really sure how I wanted to handle this because, like, I could have used, like, maybe both of them. But I didn't want to do that just because I don't like the way that they both look when put together. But I decided I'm just going to go ahead and just do a totally different one. So this one is by Pacifica, right? Yeah, Pacifica, and it's a little bronzer and blush duo. And of course, we're only going to be using the bronzer for this. I really like this shade, especially since my face is yellow. This one is kind of like a red undertone, and you're gonna think like all bronzers are, but they're really not. Some bronzers are orange undertoned, and this one has a very like red undertone, and I feel like that'll help cancel out the yellow. We're about to find out. But anyway, so we're just gonna go ahead and do that. So for my bronzer, I like to use a brush like this to where it is very fluffy and it comes up to like a point because it really just fits in the hollows of the cheek. And for bronzer, I like to bring it up almost as a blush and just like, whoo, my cheek, and just make my cheeks go like, whoo. Does that make sense? It makes sense. Look at the difference. Once you put on the bronzer here and like, it's not here, it just looks like you're just full of life and you got this dimension in your face that we lost with the full coverage concealer and the full coverage foundation. It just brings everything back. Look, that kind of canceled out the yellow, right? I think it did. Now, another place I like to put on bronzer is right on my nose because I don't really contour my nose anymore. So this is like a little fake way and you just bronze it up. And then when you put the highlighter down, that's kind of like contouring the sides and lightening the center. That's supposed to make your nose look a little pinched. So this is just like a more natural, cheat way. Now for highlighter, I asked you guys if you wanted me to use the Laura Geller Baked highlighter. Not very sure on the shade. Or the Estate highlighter in the shade Do Me Lit. Anyway, this one is very gold, which once again would not look good since I have a whole bunch of yellow going on. But it would look good if I did it. And thankfully, you guys chose the Laura Geller. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. And I like using, for my highlighters, I like to use a little flat brush like this, little paddle brush. And the reason I like to do that is because of the way I highlight. Now, I highlight to bring up my cheekbones and just because I like to be shining. But, so I go in, and with this paddle brush, you can really just start at the little tip of your cheekbone and just whoosh, just like that. And it just looks very natural, and it brings up your cheekbones, and you can blend it out. And then I also like to bring it right on my brow bone and come up like that. And then connect the two. So when you get that little side profile, you just look all healthy and glowy. Right on the Cupid's bow. And then down the center of my nose. And for the center of my nose, I use my finger and just right on the bridge, start packing. And then on the tip, just right where that point is. And then just a little swipe to blend it all out. Now we're all highlighted. Now for my eyeshadow base, I asked you guys if I should use the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade White, or if I should still use the Milani Concealer. And you guys chose the ColourPop Concealer, which is all fine. But then you chose like a nude eyeshadow look, which is weird to me because whenever I use a white concealer, I'm always doing a colorful look because I want the colors to be brought out. And if I'm going to do a nude look, I always use a regular concealer because it just kind of flows together and once again looks nude. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put on the white concealer. And it has a little paddle tip, so I'm just going to just put it on flat and just go like that, which looks really weird. And then go in with my finger and blend it out. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my Beauty Blender and really blend this out. Now, I didn't ask any questions about eyebrows just because I really only have my favorite eyebrow products. Like, I only have my one eyebrow product that I really like, and then I have well, you'll see when I do it, but so I didn't ask the question because I don't have anything for you guys to choose from. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my eyebrows. I'm still using the same Ardell Brow Pomade in the shade Medium Brown. And then I also go in with the James Charles palette, as always. It's like my fave. And I use the shade T, which is obviously used and abused. And I go in and I use like a little angled brush and I flatten it out, and then I do little brow hairs. And it's not necessarily to make it look natural because obviously there's no way to make no brows look like real brows. So it's kind of more just because I like the way the lines look. I like how I don't know how to describe it. I just like it. Now for an eyeshadow look, you guys chose a nude eyeshadow look versus a colorful eyeshadow look, which is fine by me. But we're going to be using still the James Charles palette, which I'm obsessed with, and yeah. So I'm just kind of mainly going to be using these upper rows, right here and right here, because that's where all the nude colors are. Down here, it's very colorful. So we're going to avoid that. We're going to use the shade Punch Me, which is this little cool tone brown, and it's very light. And I'm going to use that on a fluffy brush, which is dyed orange. And just pick up that color, tap off the excess, which is a lot. And we're just going to go ahead and start blending. So just packing it in the crease mainly, and then from there coming outward. Now on a thinner, more packed brush, I'm going to dip into the shade T, which is just a darker version of that first transition color I put down. Now I'm also going to pick up that shade and really pack it in on this outer corner. I'm going to go in later on and add another layer. Now the next poll I asked was if you guys wanted glitter in the look, and you guys said yes. So we have the Amajo 35JC palette and a whole bunch of gorgeous glitters. And then I'm also going to be using the Revlon Photo Ready Eye Art duo thing. It has glitter on one side and a shimmer on the other side. We're going to be using the shimmer. So first, taking the shimmer, I'm going to go in and just put that on my eye, right above my actual crease, as I always do. And now I'm going to go in with the Amajo glitter palette, and I'm going to use this champagne, dark champagne brown. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to put that on top of where I just put that shimmer. So we're going to go in and pick up that glitter and just pack it where that shimmer is. Now, if you want a more intense glitter, I would recommend actually going in with a glitter primer, but I'm not that worried about it. I just want it to be there. The next question I asked was about liner, whether I should do it, and if I do it, whether it should be black or colorful. And you guys said, yes, you want liner, and then you said you want it to be colorful. So I'm going to be using the blue eyeliner from Wet n Wild in the shade Voltage Blue. It's very bright. So just bringing it out. Okay, so I said I was going to do my falsies off camera, but I'm actually not going to, just because I get a lot of questions about how to do them and how to get them to stay, and like a lot of people who put them on, they move around a lot, and so I'm just going to go ahead and do them on camera. So I put my Kiss Lash Glue, which is very inexpensive, so one of my faves, and I got it in the color clear instead of black, because black is good if you're going to do like a full-on eyeliner look, because then you don't have to top it off with eyeliner to hide the glue. But clear, since I'm doing blue, I'm going to use the clear one. And then just go ahead and put the eyeliner on top to just blend everything in. So you want to coat it on and make sure you really get it on the corners. And prior to this, you also want to cut the lashes to fit your eye shape. And you cut from the outside. So then that way, because there's little tiny hairs on the inside that make it look more natural. So you want to cut from the outside. And you don't want the little inner corner part to pass where your natural eyelashes are, because if you go past that, your eyes are going to water a lot and they're just going to come right off. So you want to wait till the glue dries so it's sticky, and then you want to place it right where your natural lashes are, and really get as close as you can as possible. And if you mess up, it's okay, because then later on you just go in and you like squeeze them together. And by squeezing them together, it just really like connects everything. And there you go. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye off camera. So now we're going to go ahead and do lips. And you guys voted for a nude lipstick versus a colorful lipstick, which is okay with me, because I feel like maybe a colorful would have thrown this off, unless I did like a blue. But then blue brings out the yellow in your teeth, so I'm okay with this. But anyway, so I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Mega Last Lip Color in the shade Mochalicious, and then the Melted Matte Lipstick from Too Faced in the shade Holy Chic. And I'm going to outline my lips with the Wet n Wild, and then put the Too Faced lipstick in the inner part. It looks weird when I only have the top lip outline, like it just looks like I have a mustache. So now going in with that nude one from Too Faced, just going to apply it on the inner part. Okay, so here's the finished makeup look with you guys' suggestions. And I'm really liking how it turned out. It's very natural, but still has color, and I love color. And I never ever do nude looks, so it was nice to just kind of play around with it and do something different. But I do really like how it turned out, and I hope you guys did too. If you have any questions, suggestions, or anything you want to let me know, please leave them down in the comment section. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It means so much to me. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.